No, I won't say Delhi is an unplanned city. Delhi has a plan. It has a master plan. Whatever is planning, it goes on in Delhi. But the tragedy here is that all unauthorized constructions, unauthorized colonies are, by parliament law, they are regularized. So no action is taken against them. Now, I tell you, the basic problem in Delhi is that we are far above our carrying capacity. Our carrying capacity was worked out some time back at 1.9 or 2 crores. We are now more than 3 crores. We're 50% more than our carrying capacity. 50% more people have to be catered to land which is just available for 2 crore people, for water which is available for 2 crore people, XYZ. Now here, the drainage system, let's talk of today's rainfall. This problem is basically the problem of drainage. And this problem of drainage, the whole concept, in my view, is outdated. The concept is that all drains should go into the Yamuna and should float out into the river. This is the ancient traditional method of drainage. I won't dispute that. But for cities like Delhi, where we are already above the carrying capacity, we have to find out other solutions. Now, one of these solutions is that much of this water should be taken into the ground and should be stored there. That will again help us during the lean season for getting water supply. Nothing has been done on that. There were a few lakes have been this thing, and water tables have gone up. This government had done a small experiment on the Jamuna. When floods came, they said we'll take it into the groundwater and see what happens. One has not heard of it again. Here, we need now technological solutions like Israel has done. Israel is far above its carrying capacity. It's a desert, and see what it has done.
Mr.
All
Saigal,
technology.
Mr. Saigal, what has stood out in today's deluge has been that areas of Delhi which were supposed to be well built, well planned, and areas which had never showed this amount of waterlogging and its amount of chaos before, such as mostly in South Delhi and in Central, in Lutyens Delhi especially. Now, one would assume that Lutyens Delhi traditionally has been well constructed, has enough drainage facilities here. Why are we seeing these things happen in otherwise posh areas, otherwise well constructed, urban, well planned areas?
Please appreciate that these areas are far, South Delhi and Lutyens Delhi are far away from the Yamuna. And what we are doing is, we are trying to drain all the water from here into the Yamuna. And when these stormwater drains get overfilled, which has happened around where I am staying now in Panchil Park, and half of our area was totally submerged in water. And this is supposed to be a posh colony. And but the reason is that the water just doesn't flow out. If it can't flow out into the river, why don't we flow it down into the ground? Where our groundwater is very low.
Fair enough.
And we can do that. They only need new technology. You have CSIR labs, you have the IITs. Have we done anything on that regard? And this free ship business has to stop. 5,000 crores being spent every year as subsidies. This has to be spent on capital expenditure. We must now get a technological report. It's going to cost money. We'll need money, and 6,000 crores may not be enough. I remember Ms. Sheila Dikshit wanted to privatize the water supply. They privatized electricity. They say electricity is no problem in Delhi now. And she wanted to do this. And I think some step has been taken, but nothing has been done beyond that. So if the government cannot do it, doesn't have the capacity to do it, please call the private sector in. Please call the technological research bodies in. Let them find technological solutions. If Israel can find a solution with no water,
I agree with you.
Why can't we do that? I'm sure we can do that. I myself an IIT engineer, I assure you it can be done. But we have to now apply.
It can be done. I'm sure, Mr. Saigal, it can be done. I'm sorry, I'll have to cut you short there, but I'm sure it can be done. What it lacks is intent. Both you and what Mr. Manish Tiwari also pointed out, yes, that these are very important, mature ways to look at it. This is something which happens every year. Maybe it's some to a more greater extent, some to a lesser extent. You can argue about whether the collapse of the airport roof was something that was preventable or not. But what we're seeing in Delhi in every season, not just waterlogging during monsoons, the heat wave that we saw during summers, the smog we are going to see in 2 months from now, and the intense cold we are going to see after that, these are all effects of climate change. These are all effects of poor planning. These are all effects of environmental deforestation and denudation, and by lack of drainage facilities. The solutions do exist in front of us. Unfortunately, what is missing is intent. Thank you so much, sir, Mr. Omesh Saigal, for joining us. Also, thank you, Parvinder Sethi ji, also Sujata Paul and Harish Khurana for joining us with your views. Our viewers, for those